Hello, everyone. Let me, I can share my screen just to show the what we're going to talk about today. So it will be like that. Oof. Where is it? Here you go. So we're in a Flex Exchange repository. We have a nice mascot, by the way, now. See that? It's called Flex. It's a dog. So we have Flex contracts, and we have TIP3 that we're going to cover today. So quickly, again, that will be combined with the demo which we did in a community stream with the interface. So the user experience has already been covered. Now we are just going to cover the code. Well, that's it. So in terms of the architecture, it's also been covered a little bit on the community stream. So I'll just briefly tell you that it's a completely distributed order book exchange, decentralized and distributed, which means that any user can create a pair, and it has a special separate contract, which is a pair root that will govern all the prices inside this pair and trades. And then if you want to trade, you should create a price on which an order you want to trade, depends on what you want to do. Currently, it supports an exchange between TIP3 tokens and TON. TIP3 tokens are this version of TIP3 tokens, a modified TIP3 token with some interfaces that special interfaces that Andrew will cover. And what you create a price for the pair, and because this price contract has a same code, it can be then searched very quickly by hash of the contract. And so the whole price order book will be discovered instantly in the database. And any user can actually calculate the price account by just with taking the certificate and smart contract, and then of the exchange, and then adding the price in the pair. So Andrew will explain that within the code how it's done. And so if the contract already exists, then you just send their token, whatever it is, and the trade will be executed immediately if there is a counterparty, because this obviously there's no need for match, because the matching has already been done. You're sending it to the price, right? So it's a distributed because the part of the logic is sitting on the user side, part of the logic in a very distributed fashion sitting on chain. So I stop sharing my screen, and let's go to the code. So who starts? Andrew, I think you should start.
Okay, this is price contract.
Should we maybe start from the exchange contract, and then to the pair contract, and then to the price contract?
Well, stock contract is pretty simple. Its most job is just to keep configuration for entire stock exchange. We here have tons configurations about how much gas costs do we need to call transfer TIP3, or to call return ownership for TIP3 wallet it back to original user or original owner. And how much funds, native funds, we need to deploy trading pair to send order answer and to process to main processing for making deals between seller and buyers. And this is a notification demands for automatic market maker. This is interface onDealCompleted for automatic market maker. And actually, it doesn't have any code, just getters and initialization procedures. Well, and using those getters, you may request address for trading pair where this trading pair for the provided address must be deployed or must be found by others. And this is generation of custom code for price contract and for trading pair contract. Okay. To make trading pair and price contracts searchable by hash code, we need to add some salt, personal salt for each stock exchange contract system. Here, for example, this is adding a salt address of stock exchange contract to pair code. We're using reference number 3. It should be free at this moment by current linker procedure. And for price contract, we add complex salt with first address of stock exchange contract and then address of TIP3 root contract, and both of them making this price contract code unique.
So when the user, by the way, Nikita, if you have questions like to Andrew, please ask if you think that something is maybe not clear. So when the user wants to like start trading a pair, what does it need to do? If you don't have a pair yet, like the pair is not deployed. So in order to deploy the pair, what should I do?
Well, deploy the pair. just it.
How do I do that?
You need to receive options from stock exchange contract. This is in Debot. We have this deployment like this. This is check that this trading pair is not yet deployed. If get account type for this address is not one, this means this trading pair. We calculate this address we get this address from getter TradePair.
So we make a call to the root contract, to the stock, right? Contract.
Yes. What this is stock. Get your run. getSellPriceCode. For this TIP3 root address, you only need to have TIP3 address, TIP3 root address, to call this getter and receive trading pair address.
So say you deployed your TIP3 and you get an address of the root, and you call a stock contract, and it says there is no, this pair does not exist. And then you do
no, you do not actually call, you run getter from stock contract.
Yeah, run getter, right.
And it doesn't answer this trading pair does not exist.
The database is returning.
Just gives you trading address, trading pair address. You need to check it yourself. If this trading pair is not yet deployed, you need to deploy it. This is deploy trading pair function in Flex client.
So the Flex client will give you the code that you need to deploy, right?
Actually, currently Flex client performing this deployment itself.
Yeah, meaning, right. So there is a code already, meaning that you don't need to provide any code to that.
You need to provide such parameters to Flex client. You need to provide stock address, TIP3 root, and configuration for trading pair deploy native funds soon, and specifies the deploy value for how much funds you want to spend in deployment of trading pair. These parameters should be equal to stock, to the one received from stock exchange contract. If configuration parameters in some deployed trading pair or deployed price will differ from such parameters defined in stock address, then other users, other clients of this stock will they will not find your contracts, your prices, your trading pairs, and such. Okay, we can see in Flex client how it's performing deployment of.
So what is Flex client actually?
Actually, currently it is a specific contract. It is user contract for accessing stock exchange, and to perform specific deployment and requests from Debots.
Who deploys this Flex client contract?
Debots should deploy it.
So the user should deploy it for himself,
well,
right?
Yes. This is user contract. It has owner public key, and it process only external messages from this user. Actually, all this code may be performed from Debot itself. Just it requires additional unification between C++ and Solidity if you want to perform this logic from deploy logic from Solidity Debots.
So actually, you don't need Flex client. It's just for convenience and the C++ difference implementation with Solidity. So
yes,
in general, you can skip it.
Well, yes, or you can write your own Flex client with any configuration you like. For example, this is deploy trading pair. We speaking about deploy trading pair. Ownership check, accept, and deployment of trading pair with this persistent data. You need to specify stock address, TIP3 root, and deploy value. All those parameters must be convenient with the stock exchange parameters.
Okay, so let's say I deployed the trading pair. What should I do next?
After deployment of trading pair, you may access it to add sell or buy order.
Which is done by deploying price contract, right?
Yes, which is done by deploying price contract. Again, this is performed by Flex client here. This is FlexDebot from receiving arguments from user, preparing arguments for Flex client. This is, for example, buy arguments. And
so let's talk about these arguments for a second. So we have the price that I want to buy, the amount, the time by which the order should be fulfilled, right?
No, this is time by which the order should be cancelled. So
same thing.
Well, it may be not fulfilled. It may be just
yeah, no, but it will need to be fulfilled or it will be cancelled. That's what I mean.
Yes, yes.
Well, the minimum amount, which is what is the minimum amount?
This is configuration parameters that must be convenient with the stock exchange configuration parameters. Minimum amount, this is argument for minimal amount to make a deal.
Then you can, okay, so in deals limit?
Deals limit means how many deals should be processed in one message processing by price contract, because price contract may be out of one message gas if there are too many deals. For example, if we have a lot of buy orders in queue and we received a sell order with a huge amount covering all those buy deals, buy orders. Deals limit means that processing of deals will be ended and transferred to the next message to itself.
But if I'm a seller or a buyer, why would I limit my own order?
Well, you can't specify here any parameter except the stock exchange provided. If you specify here, it's not really a user parameter.
Okay. So I must use the parameters of the pair or exchange.
Yes, from stock exchange. You need
to exchange. Yeah.
This is deals limit received from stock, as the same as the minimum amount for deals. It's right. Configuration parameters. Maybe it's better to select it into specific structure to differ from actual user parameters.
Okay.
The same, you need to specify deploy value. This is user parameter. How much native funds you need to add to this message.
How do I know?
Well, this is some calculation process. Well, you need to cover for buy order, you need to cover buy costs and some processing funds from Tons configuration, received from stock exchange. Well, anyway, you may specify a bigger value. It will be
returned like
it will be kept in your account for in this order, in this added order, and when this order spent for processing, and the rest of account will be returned to you when order will be processed, or expired, or any other,
or cancelled,
or cancelled. Yes. And price code. You need actually here to specify price code received from stock from Getter for this TIP3 root address. And this is your wallet, token wallet. And this is a configuration of this TIP3 wallet, configuration including name, symbol, decimals, root public key, root address, and code.
Okay, great. So I make this message, I send this message basically, and it's one message. So the whole point is that I transfer all the information, and all the order is transferred within one message, right?
Well, anyway, for buy, you need at least two messages. First, external to Flex client or any other user client you want to be here
to use
instead of Flex. And your user client will send internal message to price contract, deploy or add. So at least two messages.
Well, it not necessarily. It can be one message if I didn't count external, because you can create an on-chain contract that will just act, for example, as AMM, which will act as a decision maker on your trades, and then you don't need two messages. Because it will just send one message, and within this one internal message, everything will be done. So like the order is just one message.
Well, for sure, just keep your logic on chain, really full logic. It's not a really good idea, because any on-chain algorithm is known for everybody.
Yeah, but that's fine. Like AMM is known to everybody, and it works on chain, so there's no problem. But anyway, it's not the point. I don't think we need to like. This is not the question. The question is that you need only one internal message to create this order. You don't need two. You don't wait for anything.
Yes, for sure.
You just make one internal message.
For buy order. For sell order, you need at least two messages internal.
Please explain.
To access your
Are you saying anything?
Oh,
Andrew?
sorry. Oh, yeah.
Andrew,
I can hear you.
disappeared.
Well, yeah, right. We don't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't hear about the sell order. So please explain what two messages do I need to execute the sell order? No, we can hear you. Yeah, okay.
To deploy price with sell, this is logic in Flex client. You need first to send a command to your TIP3 wallet. Lend ownership to price contract for some time until the order will be finished, and with some provided value. This means that this wallet is frozen for you until lend finish time, and price contract will be able to transfer TIP3 tokens from this wallet, limited of course by some length amount, how much tokens you want to sell. So you do not transfer your tokens to stock exchange or to price contract. You lend your wallet, TIP3 wallet, in temporal ownership to price contract. This means that this is a little safer situation for processing, because until the deal will not be processed, your tokens will be kept in your wallet, not in some stock exchange wallet. And if the price contract will somehow forget about your wallet by some mistake, error, programming, your wallet will be automatically returned to you by at when finish time.
Automatically, you mean I can call it and it will be returned after that time?
Yes, for sure. Well, you may already call some transfer methods, or just to use this wallet as yourself.
Mm-hmm.
When this,
so I'm sending any message to this wallet and it will return to me.
This will modify internal data about ownership, land ownership, and in this message will allow you to make some process.
Well, we will look at the TIP3 later, but okay. So in order to count messages, so I can send an external message to my TIP3 wallet, right? Which
currently no, because TIP3 wallet is limited, and because of size limits.
So that's one of the modifications that we did, is eliminated the external, right? Because we wanted, and we will explain later why it is important. So the external message is eliminated. External method is eliminated interface, and now so you need to send an internal message to transfer the ownership. And then what do I need to do to actually trade? Like to put an order.
To put an order, you must specify arguments in the land ownership, like payload.
So it's one message. Within one message, I'm transferring the ownership and actually already defining the order, correct?
Yes, payload with sell arguments. This is sell arguments, amount, and receive wallet, where to.
So then the TIP3 wallet sends the message to the price contract, right? And then and that's how the order is placed.
Yes, this is.
So let's say, in order, can I just do one order after I landed in ownership to the price contract, or I can make several?
No, just one.
Okay, just one, just to make sure. Yeah, we understand how it works. So if you want to trade with this particular TIP3 contract and place many orders from the TIP3 contract, you actually need to create many TIP3 contracts.
I just don't understand why do you need several sell orders? You may combine it in one order.
No, because I can trade simultaneously in several prices. For example,
for several prices, you need several.
Yes, exactly. That's what I said. Yep.
And several land ownership, yes.
Yeah. So I create. So if I want, like, to provide liquidity, for example, if I want to provide liquidity, one trade with same pair, several prices, I will just need to create several wallets, give it a several, some balance on each of them, whatever liquidity I want to provide, and trade against price contracts that are deployed or not deployed. Okay, great. All right.
Sorry,
Yeah,
as I understood,
sure.
the Flex client is like an instance of the user in blockchain, right? Or all operations are performed through this personal user smart contract.
Yeah, for sure. For C++ debots, it may be replaced with a simple proxy contract, just transfer external messages into internal messages. But for Solidity debots to work with C++ contract with deployment, you need to have C++ client, Flex client, able to deploy C++ contract, price and trading pair.
Okay, and the order and the price, is this the same thing? I mean, this is one smart contract or yeah, different.
Order
And the price. You said
order.
In one case you said order and
no. The price is the contract. The order is what you put inside the contract.
Inside.
Yes.
Okay.
This is orders for sells and buys.
Okay.
But I think this is the only time where we actually have a list of something, right? Because that's the orders, and the list of orders will always be on one side. Because if the order comes to the other side, it will be immediately executed against the order on the other side. So,
well, it's
right?
Maybe not true in some situations.
Yeah, some situations, but we will cover them later. But in general, if you don't have any conditions on the orders, let's say because right now in this implementation, we don't have any conditions yet, right?
Well, we don't have any condition, but we may fit deals amount limit in one message. And for example, then while next message will be processed until some next messages will be processed for this time in both in sells and in buys, there will be some orders from both sides, temporarily, of course, just because of deals limit.
So this limit is already a condition, but we can think about other conditions which we may add in the future with some limits and some trading strategies, like, for example, I don't know, fill or kill, which means that until this order is filled in full, it will not be executed or something like that. All right. Okay, what else do we need to cover here?
Well, we have some improvements since previous talk. Improvement in cancel, sell, cancel, buy.
So this one is not in public. So this one we're still working on. It's not in the contest. So the jury, if you watch this, you should not take that into consideration because these are added just now. And they relate to because the idea is that the contract under certain condition, actually when they the contract does not have an active order, it should destroy itself, right? So yes, Andrew, please explain how it works.
Well, exactly. Just when both containers, sells and buys, are empty, the contract will send all the remaining native funds to stock and destroy itself in this mechanic. That's it.
Yep, and that was not, we didn't have, it's not about time actually. What happened is that, well, maybe you, Andrew, maybe you can explain why the size of the contract is so important.
Well, to fit message size limit, we have message size limit about 60 kilobytes, I guess.
16, yeah, 16
yes.
kilobytes. Yeah.
Kilobytes, yeah. And we may see that Tom token wallet TVC is this size, and this is already with some improvements added last 2 weeks. It's about 1.5 kilobyte less than it was before. And price TVC contract is about 7 kilobytes now with all new improvements. And both contracts must fit in some one message limit, one message size limit.
And why it is important?
To send deployment of price contract with price code in arguments. So because we need TIP3 token wallet, we need to deploy price contract with TIP3 wallet code in arguments. So we need both codes in deploy message.
Yes, and we need to do that obviously because when TIP3 token is sending, TIP3 wallet is sending us some, some message, we need to really be sure that this is really TIP3 token. So we need to, and we're not going to explain again how TIP3 works, but generally, the contract has a code of TIP3. It tries to deploy it to the address, and then that's how it checks that this is the address that it got the message from, which means it's a real TIP3 token contract. And in order to do that, you need to have a TIP3 token wallet code within the price contract. That's why. And why actually one message? Well, it's because it's a flex exchange, right? So it needs to work really, really fast. And in order to do that, we want every trade should be, the rule that Flex is following is that every trade must be executed within one message, like within one internal message. So that's why.
Yes, in this function, verify TIP3 order, we perform a check of TIP3 wallet address with this pub key and internal owner. Is it really correct? TIP3 contract by calculating expected wallet address with initial wallet data in the same way as it should be provided in deployment of this contract.
Yes, and again, why we want to optimize more the contracts, continue to optimize it, because if you need any kind of logic, trading logic, for example, as I said just now, like fill or kill or stuff like that, and of course the limit orders and all kind of advanced strategies that we actually want to add, well, we need to add that all into price contract, and the price contract also need this TIP3 wallet. So it's really, really place like storage sensitive.
Of course, for sure. For I think for some logic we may use Flex client to make some orders manipulations, for example, for stops and such, to not keep this logic in price contract itself.
Yeah, no, of course, but I'm talking about like some functions that are necessary to implement this kind of logic on the client side. Of course, most of the trading strategies should be implemented on the client side, and that's where all this search by hash and other possibilities that this architecture provides can be really kind of exploited. But in order to do these strategies, you need some basic logic within price contract. So that's why it is important.
Sure. And also functionality missed in previous implementation is order expiring check. We now have order expiring check. If some order is expired, we don't process it. We send in notification with the remaining account to client about order finished without processing by expired reason.
Mm-hmm. Something which is missing, like, can you talk about commissions in general? How do we see commissions, and would we change anything?
Currently, all configuration about native funds processing kept in Tons configuration in stock exchange contract basic. So if price of gas will be changed in some way, such configuration must be updated.
So basically, you update the root, basically you need to redeploy the whole exchange to change it, right?
Currently, yes, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's a limitation, but that's also a beauty. And remember, anyone, because it's completely decentralized exchange and distributed exchange, anyone can launch an exchange just by launching by deploying the exchange contract, and here we go. So you can change parameters, and everyone can see that, and you cannot change parameters backwards. So meaning you cannot change commissions, for example. Once the exchange is deployed, then that's it, and nobody controls it. It's truly decentralized. And there is no owners or anything like that. And everyone can trade. Like, I don't need to ask anyone to trade any token with anyone else. And I will only pay commissions which are described in this exchange. And actually, like, if you want to make a trade with someone with a TIP3 token, whatever, you can, for this particular trade, you can just, deploy, 3 contracts, and here you go. You can, so it can act like an escrow or whatever even for a private deal on exchange something. That's it. Correct? Andrew, can you also talk to us about exchange? Like right now, it's exchanging TIP3 with Tons. And so you must have a TIP3 on one side and Ton on the other side. Do we have any plans to actually make a TIP3 to TIP3 exchange?
For sure, just I think that it must be different contract. I mean, specific price contract for TIP3 to TIP3 exchange, and specific maybe trading pair contract, just with the same stock, with the same root contract, but different price and
But we currently we don't have it, so we need to create another price contract which has a two TIP3 wallets as counterparties, right?
Yes, this is some starting PowerPoint for further improvements. So this is sell price code currently implemented, and we need exchange price code for two addresses, two TIP3 addresses. Two TIP3 addresses will be added to the sold intercode, price code, and I think price code will be different, not this one, because we need specific logic. And I mean, they may have some common libraries and such, but as a TVC file, it will be compiled as a different contract.
Of course, yeah, but that's work in progress. So we are planning to add that in the future, this possibility. But even now, if it's good, like you know, anyway, a lot of exchanges we just give you the one pair against or pairs against one currency. So that's one vector of the future work.
Well, actually, about nobody's stock, I think that it could be a really good idea to have maybe some limitation about TIP3 tokens and trading pairs, limited, of course, by stock owner, someone to run the stock, because anyone may add TIP3 root, deploy with some fake name, I mean, as a name of some popular currency, and I don't think this is a good thing, because to make it fraud or something. So maybe stock contract must be as a contract. It's nobody contract, but someone should keep the stock and well, allow or disallow some trading pairs.
Well, I don't think so. Actually, we can. It's well, first of all, it's kind of beyond the scope of this call, but like my idea is that it will be connected to the name certificates on DENS, and because the pair can have like the whoever owns the TIP3 token, or the issuer of TIP3 token, or whatever, like of the TIP3 token, if it registers domain, DENS domain on Ton for this TIP3 token, then inside this DENS certificate, it can specify the address of a pair on the exchange, and that will be immediately officially an exchange for this pair. So we don't really need to limit anyone to do anything. What we need is just to provide an authority which people can believe in or verify that this is really the authority that provided this contract. And that means that if someone is imposting, if someone is creating another pair on some other exchange, whatever it's fake or not, it's what we need to provide is a really easy tools to verify that this is authentic pair connected to the authentic name, and it's verifiable. The rest is not up to us, and I don't think we need to limit any of that. Because anyway, it's an open source, so we limit or not, someone can just take a source code and change it and delimit it. So I think to work with a distributed decentralized authority, certificate authority, where everyone can really easy check that this authority is exactly the authority of the address and of the token, then it can easily then verify the whole chain and come to the price contract, which would be or to the pair contract, sorry, the stock contract, which would be which would be connected to this authority. So in this case, I think this is the really good good way to deal with all kinds of scams and everything in a completely decentralized censorship resistant model and stuff. So yeah, but right, correct. So is there anything else on the contract side that we're kind of didn't cover? Nikita, do you have any more questions?
No, I don't have questions.
All right. So kind of in total, so we have like several contracts, right? They're all in the repository, in the Flex repository. And there will be another public repository for someone who wants to try it, but not for jury. We will put it in public repository, but in different branch, not in the main branch. So we don't confuse the jury with the new code, right? So the code stays the same. And after the voting time finishes, then we will move it to the main repository, and with all the improvements that Andrew just mentioned that they did. And there are also some debots. So can you just quickly in 1 minute cover what debots we have? Or maybe Michael can do that, because Michael, maybe we need to because Andrew wrote some C++ debots, right, for his own, but you can use them, of course. But then Michael with Nikita wrote some debots in Solidity. So can you, Michael, just walk us through quickly the debots?
We have two debots. It is FlexDebot and TIP3 debot. FlexDebot consists of two debots. One is FlexDebot and FlexHelper debot. FlexHelper debot just calculate some addresses and deploy some contracts for reduce code in FlexDebot. Okay, let's. I don't know what I should explain in debot. Debot is rather simple thing. This just take some data from one contract and send it to another contract, or request input from user. I think that we can show how we manipulate with prices contracts.
Yeah. For example, yeah.
Okay. Get price code hash. We receive price code hash, and with this code hash, we search price contracts in GraphQL. We receive address of these contracts and its data.
Please highlight code for people, so because.
Okay. That is the interface call. We just put hash of price contract that we received from stock contract. We receive
when we say receive, we just execute it locally, right?
Yes, we execute it locally, and then you can hash it somehow. You don't need to call it every time. So we receive hash, and now we call SDK interface function, and we receive accounts. The ACK data type, ACK data consists of two files. It's account ID and account data. And we just parse data and don't call getters on every contract. So it's increased speed because you don't need to download contracts and run it locally.
Yeah, well, you saw on the demonstration how blistering fast that is. It's like really fast because the TVM execute is well, it's microseconds. Then you have, when you have an SDK call, which is like about 100, 200 milliseconds to get just on it maximum I'm talking about if you are on the other part of the universe. And then again, you don't need to, as Misha said, you just parse this data that you received from the SDK. It's very fast.
And we received from data, we parse data and receive price, sell, and buy orders count. And then we put it in array and then just print it out.
So then here you have all the whole order book. Now you can operate on top of that, right? So you have a full order book by just searching the hash.
Yes. You also can calculate address of prices. We don't did it yet, and I think that in future we can calculate address by price and don't need to call to receive all prices contracts. For example, if you want to make deal on some price that you know, so you can just print it and you can call contract immediately without any delay.
Yeah, so that's also something we are going to add.
I don't know what else we can show. It's just
I'll show how you send the order, maybe.
The order cancel, for example, cancel order or buy order, sell order.
Buy order and then cancel order, for example.
Okay. Deploy price with buy, that is price order or buy order. So for that we need to build cells, and we use TVM builder, pack structures. You for Andrew contracts that we pack by arguments. It's deal tons, deal amount, stock min amount, stock deals limit, payout, sell price code, and TIP3 valid. Andrew said about these parameters in his debot, and we just call one message to Flex client for deploy price with buy. I think that is all.
Okay.
For cancel order, it's the same. We just pack structures for Andrew contracts and just send it in one message.
Yep. Really easy. Right. Okay. Well, I think that's all. So not to keep you long, guys. And thank you very much. We didn't cover the TIP3 because the TIP3 they are not part of the contest. so we don't need to cover them, but there are also in the repository. So you can like use the debots and to deploy this TIP3 of the TIP3 that you need to work on this exchange. Again, the TIP3. So in order to list your token, you need to create a TIP3 on this exchange. Now, it means that if you have another type of TIP3 token, for example, in the bridge, Ethereum bridge, we have another type of TIP3 token, right? So in order to trade this TIP3 token on this exchange, you will need to create a proxy contract, a kind of escrow contract, which you send your TIP3 with escrow contract will have two TIP3 codes, and you send there whatever the other TIP3 token, and you mint this TIP3 tokens to use for the exchange, and and backwards when you're done, and so on. So that's fairly simple logic here.
Yeah, maybe a few words about TIP3 debot.
Yeah, but that's as I said. I mean, yeah, we can talk about the TIP3 debot, sure, but it's not. It wasn't really part of the. But definitely, it will be helpful. Again, if you have a TIP3
maybe a
token,
few words.
Yeah,
about,
sure.
Just
please share the screen.
showing.
I'm waiting for you to share the screen. So yeah.
Okay.
So anyone can do that and create this bridge between his TIP3 token.
Yeah.
And
It's
this
a separate debot. It can be used without Flex stuff, and the main goal of this debot is to easily create or mint new TIP3 tokens on the blockchain, and we already tested it in Surf, the web browser, and it looks very easy. Just if you clicks to mint new token. It has two abilities to mint new token or create or choose existing one, and you can grant these tokens to token wallets. And to mint new TIP3 token, you just need to say like next, or the bot will generate a seed phrase for you to deploy TIP3 root. Then the bot will ask you the name of the TIP3, some other details like a symbol, the number of decimals, and total supply. You need just to enter these values and then say yes, sign the transaction to deploy TIP3 wallet, and that's all. You need to create your TIP3 token, and then you can restart the debot and choose not to mint, but to grant tokens from this fresh TIP3 root to any other wallets by TIP3 address. TIP3 wallet address. Where is it? Yeah, this is menu for this. Or you can use another way. If you have a Flex client, you can just enter its phrase, and the address of the TIP3 wallet will be generated automatically, and then you can transfer to it to grant some tokens to it. And that's all. It's the version for the contest, and now we have some improvements in this debot. The main improvement is that now to see your minted TIP3 tokens, you don't need to enter the address of the TIP3 root. You just choose the button to see all your minted tokens, and the bot will query all TIP3 roots by hash, as Michael shown. The bot uses SDK function query accounts by hash, and it will print all your tokens minted previously. Then you can choose one of them and to grant these tokens to others. And I think that's all. That's a quick view of this debot.
Yeah, that's great. There is some bug with decimals, I think, in somewhere. Don't remember where. In FlexDebot, I think. So, Drew, you should be aware. I mean, I think if you put more than 3 in decimals, I don't remember exactly.
It's not really
more than
bug, I think,
0.
like
more than 0.
like
So
a feature.
don't use any decimals for now.
Not
There is a known bug in that. So, but again, we're not changing anything. We're not uploading new code. So yeah, there is a bug. So on that positive note, let us conclude our meeting. And thank you everyone, Michael, Andrew, Nikita, for doing this great job. And we will continue to work on that, and we will move this into production. I think this is very important kind of stuff for Freeton and for the freedom of trade. Thank you all. See you. Bye guys.
Bye.